This is the Outlast whistleblower... Not Outlast whistleblower. This is the Outlast 2 audio that I promised we were going to do. Really quick, just from the title alone, I absolutely hate it. And I am being serious. The first and second game of this makes me so unbelievably upset. And I'm going to let you know why. First of all, you start off this game having, like, war flashbacks to being in Catholic school? Like, why wasn't this just set in a Catholic school? Because at Catholic school level, portions of this game are actually more terrifying than actually running around through the middle of, no man, Arizona, realistically. And then on top of it, you literally get a helicopter plane crash, right? And you're the only supposed survivor other than your wife, who was kidnapped by the locals. And instead of doing the right thing, right, of maybe I should call the authorities considering I don't know if she might be hurt, I don't know if I have internal bleeding. No. It's video game logic. I walked away completely unscathed. I am going to just wander into this town where I can clearly see that these people are in fact staring at me menacingly. But I'm not going to say anything about it, right? I'm just going to be very, what are you doing? Why are you here? It bothers me so much. And then again, right, we get the coveted video game complimentary flashlight via the stupid camcorder. I'm being serious. This legitimately boggles my mind of why is this a thing? Why do we keep getting these really bad video games? On top of it, for reasons I still honestly don't understand, you come to find out that people here are like, I don't even have a word for it. Crazy is the only thing I can think of. They believe that every child born from any woman, no matter whether or not she's actually part of this community or not, is giving birth to the Antichrist, and we must kill the babies. But also unceremoniously just keep impregnating the women as God intended. I'm like, you guys need to pick one. Either every kid born is the Antichrist waiting to fuck shit up, or God said go forth and multiply, and you did as bidden. It cannot be both, because then it brings up a lot of confusing emotions, realistically, of what are we doing and why are we doing it? Worse than that, right, is that your wife, for a good majority of this playthrough, does not actually have to go through what you're going through, and the supposed radio waves that are scrambling your mind into egg salad wouldn't be doing it to her because she's underneath the ground for the majority of it, which you find out that there's an entirely separate, like, subsection of this cult that just is living underground. So I was like, wouldn't these people not be affected by the not really aperture science people that are messing with them? And yes, thanks, Celestial, I'm really glad that you pointed this out to me. The same company that was doing the not really Abstergo projects in the first game at that mental asylum is the exact same ones that are doing all this in the middle of nowhere, Arizona. I'm gonna let you know right now. No, that's not how radio waves work. That's the reason why you'll notice that sometimes when you go to, like, the bank or when you go to, like, the car wash, if you've got the radio on, right, old school radio, AM, FM stuff, it fizzes out is because it can't actually get through the amount of concrete and metal that it has to get to the receiver that you're at. So realistically, do you know how much rock is in Arizona? Just realistically, it's mesas. It's thick. So if you just decide to go hide out in a cave, the radio wave would have a hard time getting to you. Add the fact that you're going underground, it really wouldn't be an issue. And yet this game treats it like you are constantly, always besieged by this, I'm just going to call it the Venga Boys, like, radio, because that's the only thing I could think of that is just so loud when it doesn't need to be. And before you say you don't like the Venga Boys, I do. I think they have really good songs. I'm not going to elaborate on that. They have really good songs. But I need to stress this, right? Between the fact that this game is just wild, it is so wild, between the main character having his continuous, like, war flashbacks to middle school and a girl he didn't for realsies kill, no, I'm being serious, he honestly thinks, I'm the reason that she's dead. You're not the reason that she's dead, dude, Jesus Christ. He's not. Just, this man is going through it. His wife has been kidnapped by a cult that isn't even the main cult that they're researching because all this other stuff. And then on top of it, the main cult that they're researching is just super mega crazy people, and the guy that's the father of this cult just up and kills himself. I really wish I was saying this like I was sick and I had like a fever dream. No, everything I just told you is 1,000% correct, and 1,000% while I was playing it, I was so concerned. And then, right, because I had to go back and replay it just for this audio, because I had forgotten so much of it. These people are besieged, right, with sexually transmitted diseases, and they act like it is a gift from on high. What? Even if your main character lives through this and doesn't get extreme emotional damage, right? There is no way you're walking away without, like, needing a bunch of ST shots and also, like, a bunch of tetanus shots. There's no way. Like, it's wild, and it doesn't make sense. And now, I remember, right, while I was replaying it, the first thing that came out of my mouth, right, after the opening credits, the opening scene, and then immediately once the helicopter crashed, first thing out of my mouth was, "Donde está tu brujas?" Because I forgot for a second that this game isn't about witches. But it should have been. It would have been a lot more interesting of, whatever Outlast is about. If it's just about, I don't know, people that are being experimented on, you guys could have done a lot better job. Realistically, you're really good at it. But that's not here or there. That's not what it's about. What we have to talk about. Because God heaven forbid that we actually write a coherent, cohesive story that actually talks about the dangers of people being mentally manipulated to become more than they are or aren't under the pretense of whatever spooky, like, corporation this is. For the record, right, I really wish somebody could explain what this not really Abstergo corporation is, and nobody ever will. And some people on YouTube have tried to explain it, and they all sound like they're grasping at straws, and I'm not gonna try and make my own, like, well, what are they kind of a video, because I don't have the soul energy for that, dude. I took emotional, physical, spiritual damage replaying this game. I don't want to deep dive any deeper than I've already deep dived into this series. I promised I would finish it. This is the final episode to finish this off. Unless they get another one going and I'm just, for my own mental health, I will not do that one. I'm sorry. I can't. But this is, right, just like the title says, this is an opposition of. It's so uncoherently, unnecessarily crazy, and I don't like it. It's... Okay. As somebody who doesn't particularly mind playing horror games, right, I really don't. As much as I am a big baby watching horror movies, I am not a big baby playing horror video games. And the reason why is because, let me put this on mute and just focus entirely on what's going on, because the music is actually what tricks your brain into thinking that things are scarier and more dangerous than they are. Musical cues, right? Just like Jaws. The dun dun. That's what tricks your brain into thinking, oh no, something's gonna happen, because they've conditioned you to associate that sound with danger. There's actually videos on that. I will just tell you to go look it up. It's amazing how you can Pavlov train somebody with music. The point is, when I've started to play horror games more recently, playing them on mute, the best kind of horror games are the ones that do not have deep lore, sophisticated backstory that you may make a mid-theory. They're not even, like, games that sit there and try and just do jump scares a la Five Nights at Freddy's. They're actually games that sit down and tell you, we have a beginning, we have a middle, we have an end. Your character does in fact have deep, lined out backstory that you can learn about as it pertains to this game. And legitimately, these Outlast series games, they don't do that. And it bothers me so much. The only recent game that I've replayed in the horror genre that actually did this surprisingly well was The Mortuary Assistant, the game where you're a mortician's assistant and now you have to fight a spooky demon in the mortuary and try to kill it before it kills you or takes over your body. 10 out of 10. This game legitimately, even with me playing it on mute, was the best game I think I've played in a while, because it doesn't... Does it have jump scares in it? Very few and far between. But the jump scares come more of, how long has it been staring at me without me noticing it being there? Because you have to do so much stuff to progress the game that it will make it to where you are legitimately, like, I have so much to do and I have very limited time to do it in, and I need to get this done, and I have to find out this demon's name, I have to get all of this done, I have to burn the right person. Spoilers, I guess. it is very much one of those things where it's like, no, that's okay. I realistically am good. I don't really want to get this job again. But the ending of the game is cohesive, it's concise, there's 3 different endings. I only got the one and I haven't had a chance to replay again for the other ending. I'll probably do that on my off. But that's the point, right? If you're gonna make a horror video of any kind, can you please make it cohesive, concise, and don't rely on your weird, like, gory fetishization stuff and actually do something with your horror game? That would be really amazing. I hate doing it. That's not true. Sometimes the opposition of is fun. This isn't. This wasn't a fun that I had to replay and redo and talk about. But that's okay, because now it's done, it's over, I fulfilled my promise and my big shout out to the editor, the subscribers, the patrons. Thank you, lovely viewers, for coming to listen to me ramble about a game I absolutely hate. And thank you so much for leaving a like, share, or subscribe. It really means the world to me. I hope you have an amazing rest of your... Bye-bye!